I am Johnny Massacre and welcome to my world, a very Christmassy world. This is the 12 Games of Christmas, day 9, where we're playing a different Christmas themed retro game every day in the run up to Christmas to get you in the Christmas spirit. We've played a lot of Jank, we've played a lot of NES, and we had a good one the other day. What was it? We played Christmas Nights on the Sega Saturn from 1996. When we played that, I think things started to get less jank and more fun and more Christmassy. So, Merry Christmas, everyone. Nearly. It's the 23rd of December, Christmas Eve. Mother Massacre told me before the stream to wish you a Merry Christmas from her as well. So I'm doing that now, and I'm back on the...
Milky says howdy.
What's up, Milkster? How you doing? I'm back on the coffee. Caffeine Golem is here. You know what I like about the UK, bruv? Yeah, they give you a proper one, innit? Look at the size of that, bruv. Look at the size of that. It's like drinking a soup. We drink coffee like we drink soup in England. Still recovering from nose surgery. Still quite swollen, but it's looking a bit better, so...
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, Merry Christmas to all you wonderful freedom-loving patriots.
Fuck yeah. Exactly.
Milkatima Kesting says, wait, why back on the coffee, lol?
Because I'm an addict and I have a problem. Went to a pub on Saturday and the surgeon said, if you go out, cover your nose. If you don't, you got to keep it moist with Vaseline or it will dry out. And he basically said, don't drink for 7 days. It was day 6 or day 5. And he said, maybe you can. I had a little bit of Guinness.
Milkatima Kesting says that is a small in America, lol.
Fuck off. Are you serious? You cannot be serious. Donald Trump, best president of all time. I haven't done any politics and it's good. I'm taking a little break from it. Believe me, when I fucking get back on that whole lard, it's going to be hours and hours and hours of content. But he's just godlike, bro. He's fucking godlike. There's so much good shit that he's doing. The main thing is just booting out all the illegals. The millions of self-deportations. And then you see downward trends for housing costs and things like that.
Says Amazing. 100% correct.
Trump just basically showed that all this globalist narrative is BS, that we have to take a certain amount of grapey migrants and shit. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing what he's doing. I love him so fucking much.
Says, hey Gary.
So I went out, had a little bit of Guinness. I could feel my face flushing. I looked at my nose, it's properly swelling up. I thought, you asshole, why did you do that, dude? You could have stayed at home. The thing is, I want to see my mates and stuff. But I felt like every time...
Von Mabach 8651 says, greatest president ever, Donald J. Trump.
It's by fucking miles. And the thing is, he's a man's man. He doesn't take any shit, and he's firm but fair, and he's funny. He's funny as fuck. He's the funniest guy ever. He's actually irreplaceable. There's no one else on earth who'd be doing it like how he did it. I don't think anyone else on earth could have won.
WR says, when I see that cup size, I start panicking and throwing a caffeine tantrum looking for the adult cups.
You fucking serious? Mate, fuck off. You don't drink coffee. Look at the size of that.
Hastings says we got Brad and Gary, let's go.
Let's fucking go. We got the dream team. It's everyone we need. Yeah, no. I'm loving the Trump stuff. JD Vance made a speech the other day and he basically said it's okay to be Itway. Fucking amazing. Unbelievable. I mean, of course it is, but it's just a vibe shift. That fucking hell, adults are back in the room. Normal people are doing normal things now. Come on, let's go, America. England, though.
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, milky tea.
Milky tea, and a black coffee. So yeah, went out, didn't cover the nose, kept it Vaseline, but it's swelling up a bit. But I think
WR says milky.
I think it's kind of getting back to normal. Yeah, there's so many things. I basically can't do anything. I can't. It's been good that I had this surgery because I can't do any chemistry experiments and I can't drink any alcohol. Well, I can, but just basically no. So I guess it's what I needed to just get a little bit. Well, the thing is, I don't drink any alcohol anyways. What am I talking about? I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I asked ChatGPT if I can do a chemistry experiment on New Year's Eve. I haven't been to any raves, none, like nothing. I literally didn't go to 6, might even be 7. I got a refund for some of the tickets, some of them I didn't. There's no fucking way. After the surgery, going raving is suicide mission, dude. So you're not supposed to do a chemistry experiment according to ChatGPT at least 3 weeks after surgery, and best 4 at least. And sometimes it even says 4 to 6 because it does something to the blood flow in your face and your nose. And New Year's Eve will be, what will it be? It will be 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It will be just 2 weeks after the surgery. So that's not a good time to do a chemistry experiment. I really want to do a chemistry experiment. I haven't got amongst it at all. And I feel to get amongst it, I want to have a few pints, have a few beers, but I can't really after the surgery. So it's kind of good. It's narrowed my focus and my goals. Everything's very simple. Just don't go out, don't drink, don't do chemistry experiments, be normal. I think it's actually just what I needed, but I'm tempted. The thing is, I could go out for New Year's and not do a chemistry experiment, but the DJ I'm not super duper feeling, and being sober in that club where everyone gets fucked, I don't think it's...
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, I'm going to have some spiced rum for the Christmas cheer.
Ah, wicked, mate. Do you know what, though? I wouldn't mind a bit of mulled wine. Slubs, are you there, mate? Because if you are, I would like to let you know that women are like a fine wine. They just get better with age. So a bit of mulled wine, I'm sure that idiom still applies. I met this girl on a dating app. She's pretty fucking fit, I have to say, and she's proper into it. I really like her. You never ever interact with anyone who's on the same wavelength, but she's proper. She's quite ADD, very fucking smart. Went to Cambridge. My 1,000 plus big brain IQ is basically on the level. It has to be a Cambridge graduate at least. The thing is, I would absolutely smoke most Cambridge graduates in a debate. When you actually see them chatting, I think a lot of it is a maturity thing, but it's also an ideological thing, because there's such indoctrination factories now at universities. I used to look at them with a lot of respect, but now less than ever I do. So it's actually not a barometer of intelligence at all, especially when you see the guy in Oxford, that guy who looked like a kind of discount hybrid of a catfish and Snoop Dogg.
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, say hi to your mum and Merry Christmas also.
She'll be listening. She appreciates it. So I'm not saying that someone who's Cambridge graduated or like Red Brick University or Ivy League University is necessarily actually that smart, but I do need someone around that world to get the intellectual stimulation that I crave. But it also needs to click with the personality type. But this girl's smart as fuck. It's just, and because she's a bit ADD, it's just relentless, just intelligence bombarding you. It's just constantly, and coming out with words that I've never even fucking seen before. There was one word.
Melkatima Guesting says she'll be listening through the Dolmeo.
No, she fucking won't. Even if she is, it's all right. There's a word, it has a certain kind of notoriety attached to it for being particularly, it has some kind of record attached to it, but it's a word for taking pleasure in others' misery, which, as you probably know, is Schadenfreude, but there's a more fucked up, more complicated word. She dropped it. I thought, wow, but yeah, she was in Cambridge, so I just felt, oh my God, this is the kind of shit that when I have a conversation with someone, this is what I fucking want. It's fucking smart, also creative, and just got a bit of fun. And it was just nice talking to her. Stimulating my brain, give me that. So that was kind of nice. But she's somewhere in Asia, but quite close. But already she was saying, for your birthday, I'll take a trip down. I mean, can't really lose, right? But I don't know, bro. I don't know. Ladies are lucky that I've been broke for so fucking long, because if I hadn't been, I'd be out there and I'd be making a lot of women very happy. Just still Luke on Dago bar, honing my skills. Speaking of being broke, you can donate right now. Streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre. If you donate, I'll be very happy. We basically donate. We don't really get donations anymore. But if someone's feeling Christmassy and shit, please consider donating. And yeah, I'll be the happiest man in London.
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says just tried again to send you a donation, it failed again.
So Gary, how are we going to work this out? Can you give me a time? I'll walk you through it. How are you doing tomorrow? Is Christmas Eve too crazy? Or later on today? And also, Gary, are you able to log into the Discord? That's my question. Thank you, Gary. There's a British pub. A friend of mine, old friend, used to live just down the road from here. Used to drive me to school in the morning. We used to go out, do chemistry experiments all night. He'd drive me to school. We'd just be moody as fuck, not talking. He's back in town. He became a millionaire recently. Amazing. He started off in Japan in the wilderness on like the shitty jet program in the middle of fucking
Ezra
nowhere.
Says, big up, Johnny. Merry Christmas.
What's
Much
up?
love to you and family.
Much love to you too, mate. I'll be seeing you next week, hopefully. And he got a visa in Japan. He worked for one of the top.
Fatima Kesting says howdy, Ezzy.
So he worked for one of the top ad companies that's like linked with Wyden and Kennedy. Then he went back to London, went to a sick agency there. Then he went to New York. He did his whole fucking plan that he wanted to do, not without a few bumps in the road, but he did it. And went to New York, top agency. Now he's in LA, which is the place to make money in the world, because it's basically, it makes more money than any other state, even though obviously Newsom's doing his best to destroy that, but it does. And then he actually did the fucking, he produced the advertisements for Apple, for iPad, the whole fucking concept, the whole narrative, top tier. Then he ended up leaving them and went to a company he could get
Gary
some
Von
shares.
Mabach 8651 says, I will try to send you something through Discord, haven't tried that yet.
Boot it up, let me know how it goes, because there's so many Massacre
Ezra
mates there that
says,
can walk you
hey,
through.
Luke, same for you. All the very best to you, pal.
Big ups. And then he went to a smaller company, startup, but he was obviously heavily invested in the company. They gave him ownership and stuff. And then he told me that he basically became a millionaire through trading. And he said, just start now. It doesn't matter how much it is. And he said that he became a millionaire from just trading on the blue chip companies. He said, that's all I do. It's just the big companies. And I thought, yeah, I mean, he knows what he's doing, obviously. You can't fluke that. But I did feel that this sounds risky as fuck. Because I know that people who do start accumulating wealth will usually just put aside 10 or maybe a bit more, 20% into things like that, hedge the portfolio, and then it's not going to take you under if the investments don't pull off. So I don't know exactly how much he put into this, but that's what he did, and it's fucking amazing. And anyways, he's back in town for a couple of nights with his bird. I met her last year. Really interesting. She's a bit of a lefty. He doesn't give a fuck and just will say what he thinks. So quite interesting relationship, but she's not aggro, so it's cool. We both, because we're...
Thing about trading is you need big capital to make it big, unless you get super lucky.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you could just keep on putting a certain small amount until you're pretty much guaranteed a return, right? And then you could do a bit more, higher risk, higher reward. I don't know what he did. I don't think he's high risk though, so he probably, I'm going to ask him. It'd be really interesting to hear. Obviously I've got a lot to learn from him. But because we're cut from the same cloth, we used to go to raves and shit together. We both wanted to do the same thing in London. We said, yeah, okay, taxidermy on the wall, proper old school pub. What are those chairs called? Is it not Winchester chairs? There's a special name. It's like leather and then it's indented. at kind of uniform points all over the chair where it goes in to almost like a little button, and they're usually made of leather. Is it a Winchester chair? Anyways, roaring fire, all that shit. So hopefully we'll find something like that. His missus is on it and she's the planner in the relationship. But I was already doing a bit of research and I found a wicked pub. It's called the Grenadier, one of the oldest in London. One of the cheapest beef Wellingtons, and I've never had one before, and that's been my goal for the last 3 years, to get a beef Wellington, just because it's Gordon Ramsay's #1 dish, his favourite. And they have it there, and apparently it's the cheapest in London. They've got red coat mannequin on the fucking wall.
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, I just work for everything I have plus God provides abundance.
He fucking does, man. The other thing, this girl I met on a dating site, she's a Christian, and it's just, the girl has to be, if I ever settle down with a girl, she has to be a woman of Christ. She just has to be, because if a woman is good looking and has a good personality, and the foundation is that, you just know the relationship's going to be good, because they're constantly, there's no moral relativism. They know they should be doing good things, and everything that the Bible tells you to do is pretty obviously good, right? You know, love, respect, the neighbors, all that kind of stuff. And the humility is there. They're not the center of the universe. There's something greater than them. You know, the discipline and the rites and the rituals are so fucking important. Before, 500 years before Christ, Confucius in the Analects, one of the most important things to just conducting yourself as a good human is rites and rituals, because without it, I took it that there's too much of an element of chaos. It's too spontaneous. If you do things with rituals, you give consideration to your actions and how you act. Do it in a proper way. How should I do it? What's the correct way to do it? You get all the rites and rituals of Christianity as well. Believe in it or not, I think it's a net good. And all those things together, just having faith and knowing that there's more to life than just, we're not just a bunch of fucking molecules moving around in a vortex. It just makes such a fucking difference. It makes such a difference. It's so good. So yeah, this girl ticks a lot of boxes, but I haven't even fucking met her. So that's the thing. Usually if you meet someone online, if you're just communicating basically by text, I don't even know how much of a percent of someone's character you can gauge from that. I would say maximum 50, probably only getting 30. It's completely different. Like, an introvert thrives in that situation. As soon as you meet someone face to face, it can be completely different. So I don't fucking know. But anyways, I do think...
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, give from the heat with no strings attached.
But yeah, and I just find as well, people with faith, a lot of them, they've had some kind of spiritual awakening, and I know the way to have a spiritual awakening is through suffering. We all suffer, but some people really fucking suffered, and instead of folding, if they have a spiritual awakening, it tells you a lot about their character, how they've just...
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says hard.
Character and problem solving, like they refuse to lie down and die, but they move the focus away from themselves to something else, and there's a humility in that. So I think a lot of people who follow Christ have had that kind of experience, and I love people who've had that.
WR says, did you just say Amalex? Gary Von Mabach 8651 says darn spell check.
People who've had spiritual awakenings, who've come through suffering, they're beautiful people, and they have the richest soul and the richest spirit. It's fucking beautiful. Both the two best examples of that is Solzhenitsyn, from his time in the Russian gulags, especially him and the way that he depicted it. the way he kind of illustrated that in his writings, but also Viktor Frankl. Both of them, absolute rock bottom. And when they went to rock bottom, both of them had a spiritual awakening, and they just had the richest spirit. You can tell that the place that they operate from, mentally, spiritually, it's a place that you
that
can't.
Small coffee cups gives me anxiety. It's going to finish.
You can't voluntarily go to that place. It's that place will go to you on your pathway, and anyone who makes that journey, you can just tell their spirit is so rich and there's so much depth to them. So I love people who've had that kind of experience, come through adversity, learned humility, and have basically just found some kind of spiritual meaning. I can tell when I meet those people. And it's really ironic. It almost feels like people who haven't had that, I find it quite hard to connect with them. I think it's a little bit like fucking Frodo coming back from Mordor, right? After that shit, how are you gonna connect?
Testing says that's why I never leave the house. Coffee maker in it.
How are you gonna connect, cuzzy? Anyways, I really want to go to this pub. I invited Ezina actually, but he's a bit busy over the Christmas period, as most people are. But I will go there at some point. You want to hear the menu? Absolutely great, proper British menu. Oh my God. I don't want to big this place up too much. Check this menu out. The Grenadier. Oh God, the pub. Here we go. Check this out. I'm gonna have to call them up because I'm afraid that they're gonna remove this menu. Okay, check this out. Mains. Our famous festive beef Wellington, truffled mushrooms, goose fat, roast potatoes.
This is on my case like Arnie out of Terminator. Sorry, dude.
Don't get me hyped with Arnold. Our famous festive beef Wellington, truffled mushrooms, goose fat, roast potatoes, maple glazed parsnips, Brussels sprouts, crushed winter roots, pig in blanket, veal Jew. Oh God, the Jew. Cover it in Jew. 40 quid. And then this one, listen to this, cuzzy. Christmas crown of English turkey, goose fat, roast potatoes, same shit, maple glazed parsnips, Brussels sprouts, crushed winter roots, pig in blanket, cranberry Jew. It's either a beef Wellington or Christmas crown of turkey. I know which one I'm having, cuzzy wuzzy. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Check out the other menus, proper British, cuzzy.
Milkatima Kesting says, I'm connecting right now. I'm hearing you talk about how you admire people who've embraced rational spirituality. Now you're reading off a delicious menu that's core humanity right there, lol.
Battered haddock fillet, thick cut chips, mushy peas, tartar sauce. Check this one out. Steak and Guinness, short crust pie, confit garlic and sage, mashed potatoes, broccoli, beef gravy. And of course the Christmas beef burger, pig in blanket, Somerset brie cheese, winter vegetables, coleslaw. I need to go to this fucking place so fucking badly. So badly. Look at that, cuzzy. Look at that. That's the beef Wellington. Yeah, look. That's the Winchester chair. That's the one I was talking about, right? They stuck money to the ceiling, bruv. Look at that. This is some British madness. Mate, look at that. Come on now.
BrWR says, that's a good way to look at it, like Frodo in the Shire, but you're going through that as well. Don't underestimate how difficult it is for some to move to Japan and leave everything behind.
Fucking hell. I had some more context about that the other day. Okay. Next point of conversation, the fucking Lion King. So I was around my best friend's house and his wife was there, and she's like a freak for the Lion King. And I avoided that shit because at that point in time, believe it was 91, that's when I started to become. So I was 8 years old at that time. And that's when I started to watch things like Terminator 2 and Aliens. And that's moving away from the kind of mainstream kids stuff, even though Lion King is obviously a ridiculous classic. But all of that shit, I started to reject it and go towards more punk and anti-establishment shit. Ironically, today, it's the most establishment shit, what punk has become. But at that time, it still was a little bit rebellious. So I totally rejected Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and there's another one for Pocahontas, all that shit. So 30 fucking years later, more than 30 years later, I'm coming back to find out why these are such classics. And Lion King, holy shit, dude. I mean, it's like a 9.5 out of 10. The reason I bring it up is because it contains the hero's journey, or a watered down version of that this famous Hollywood exec created and circulated around Hollywood. So all the films in that period is the ultimate kind of hero's journey.
Says, Pagan blanket sounds like pagan blanket.
So the reason why the hero's journey works so well is it's a fundamental part of the human experience, which is just simply transformation and growth. And within that, you have things like death. So there's always a death which is the ultimate form of transformation, right? You couldn't have a more binary form. And humans just relate to transformation because we're always growing throughout our lives, and the hero's journey is just the best way to kind of manifest that into a story. So when you witness such a thing, you relate to it. It's like a cat. Watching a fucking hero's journey is like a cat standing in front of a cardboard box. You just have this deep-rooted instinct to get involved with it. And you start to realize things about yourself. And when I was watching The Lion King, I started thinking about my trip to Japan, the journey away from the Shire, the journey away from home, Jesus going wherever he went. And the development and the death and the sacrifice that kind of instigated that journey, and crossing the threshold and the point of no return. And in the Lion King, right, he goes away, and the threshold guardian is the boar and the little whatever the fuck that thing is, who are great characters, kind of quirky characters who take him into this new place, but they're kind of assholes. They're hedonists and they don't want any responsibility, right? And it's not good for him to stay there too long because there's stagnation, there's no growth, and he's essentially hiding from something, right? The trauma of his family that he has to face and his responsibilities. And at the end, he goes back and we all have that. They're these demons, these personal demons that terrify us, but that's where Jordan Peterson said this before he went mad. That's where all the things we want most are hidden, is behind the things we're most terrified of confronting. And he goes back at the end, and they say it in not so many words that, he was hiding from responsibility, whatever. Watching The Lion King kind of made me feel like I haven't completed that journey of coming back to England, like the way Simba comes back to the pride and faces the things. So watching that, again, it's a fundamental part of the human experience. It's transformation and growth. And you have to essentially return and face the things that you were avoiding and get a resolution. And then the things that you've learned along the way through all the pain and investment, then you're supposed to share it with other people, like the knowledge and the things you've gained and the whatever. So I feel like watching The Lion King made me think about my own life, and it just tells you how much of a fucking unbelievable, like, archetypal story that is. Absolutely brilliant. But so again, going on an adventure, returning to the Shire, not being the same as before.
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, can you put a link in this feed for donations?
Yeah, of course. Okay, I see what you mean. There's so many different ways to do it, which is good. I mean, Gary, Gary, probably the easiest way to do it is to do the Big Boy Barry membership if you want to do one-time donation and then just downgrade your... That link in the chat, you can
Johnny
upgrade
Massacre
the...
says, link. Milkatima Kesting says crazy to think you had not seen Lion King. That was one my rewind tapes.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievably good. It went from a 10 to a 9.5. If you can upgrade your membership, Gary, to like a Big Boy Barry, it's for a one-time donation and then like reduce it. But I think you got to turn off the ad blocker.
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, I was able to send some to another blogger yesterday.
Blogger. So Gary, like if you look at my screen, you see this thing, this note. It's like that's all you have to click.
You have to learn to tell people to go F themselves.
And then you just do a super sticker or a super chat. That's like the way to do it. But the other links, I'll drop it just so you can try it. Streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre. Sign in.
Massacre says, link.
You got to sign in via the YouTube.
Johnny Massacre says, sign in via the YouTube sign in below.
If you do the Streamlabs one, there's a box below. You click it, you sign in via YouTube. But the thing is, I remember like you have a master password, which I don't think it's the master password on your phone. It's the actual password for YouTube, the same one you use to log in to chat now. You have to have an account. You need to log into something in order to donate via there. Man, The Lion King. The two things in The Lion King, Milky, I'd like your opinion on this, by the way. There's two things in the Lion King that downgraded it from a 10 out of 10 to a 9.5 out of 10. And I'd like to hear your opinion on this. Like to hear. Is your PayPal still fucked, mate?
Johnny Massacre says, become a member at Patreon. Johnny Massacre says, link.
So that link, Gary, Patreon, again, you can become a member. So if you click on member, and then you can put in a custom amount for what you want it to be. You can do that once and then cancel it if you want to do a one-time donation. PayPal, you know the PayPal, right? But I don't think your PayPal's set up.
WR says, the Lion King SNES game is the only thing wrong with Lion King.
Is it really that bad? And then the PayPal's here, Gary, but...
Johnny Massacre says, PayPal for you, Gary. Johnny Massacre says, link.
Yeah, so that's the PayPal. Gary's getting like bombarded now. If you also, if you can log into the Discord, Gary, then the Massacre mates will sort it out because they know more than I do. And especially Milkatia, she's the trustworthy one. I've never fucking met her and I don't know her, but I can guarantee it. Nah, Milks is a solid. I know her brother, so she can't fuck around. She can't fuck around. Yeah, so Lion King, the two things in that brought it down from a 10 to a 9.5 for me were, at the end where Simba realizes he's going to go back and he's going to confront his evil uncle. By the way, the voice acting in this fucking movie is just insanely good. Also, the little bird played by Rowan Atkinson, it's just next level. He's going back to confront his past, and we know he's doing that, and then the other characters vocalize it to make sure you understand the story, and they say, where's he going? Oh, he's going back to do this and fight the king and blah blah blah. A little bit fourth wall, kind of saying, oh, we're just going to tell you what the story is. But it was so ridiculously obvious at that point. There's plenty of other Disney films way more complicated than that don't necessarily explain it. I felt that was unnecessary. I thought it was so exquisite and self-evident, the narrative, that you didn't need. That just felt like a little bit fourth wall breaking. I just felt, even for kids, that wasn't necessary. If you want to make a true legend, you don't sacrifice the legend for explaining it that obviously. I didn't like that part. Call me a connoisseur of quality, but that stuck out for me. And the other part, I just felt the ending could have been more holy shit. I felt it could have been the actual fight with the antagonist. I felt it could have been.
RoWR says, well, yay, Simba's dad is Darth Vader, doesn't get more badass than that.
It just could have been a little bit better, the ending. It was building up so much and everything was so perfect. I wanted some kind of jaw-dropping holy shit moment at the end. I never really got that. Although I think that the narrative was perfect. It was just the execution. When I forget his name, the evil uncle, the antagonist, he's got Simba on a cliff, just like he had Simba's dad on a cliff.
Says they cut out my favorite song during that point. They were breaking the fourth wall for the children, lol. Gary Von Mabach 8651 says just tried Discord, that was complicated.
Did you get inside? I sent you a bunch of messages on Discord. Discord is a bit of a mind fuck. I'm sending you messages there. Yo, Gary. He's got Simba in the same way he's got his dad, the antagonist, hanging off the cliff. There's no way Simba's going to get away from that. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's just a cartoon. It's not an excuse. You have to make it believable and relatable to kind of to absorb what you're seeing. And somehow Simba, he gets away from the cliff, jumps back up and goes onto the bad guy. I thought, that's not going to happen. You're just doing that for the sake of the story. I felt that wasn't necessary, or he's not going to be able to jump off the cliff. If his dad can't get back from that situation, there's no way he's going to get back from that situation. Some people, there's always someone in the comments who'll go, yeah, but they'll make up some fan fiction and go, well, this is what happened. But no, that's not what it feels like when you actually watch it. That's cope, I think, and reaching. It would have been better if like one of the other animals came over and helped or something. And then it's really cool the way he brainwashed Simba into thinking he killed his dad. He doesn't even know that it wasn't his fault. The bad guy had no reason at the end to admit to Simba that he actually killed his dad, but he does that.
Simba didn't have 5 different things going on at the time, Lmao.
That's true. So like the dad was exhausted, but there's literally no reason for the bad guy at the end, when he's got Simba, he's about to kill him, to say, by the way, it was me who killed your dad. Okay, I know it's kind of nice for the story, but why fucking... That the bad guy just saying his plans at that point, you would not do that. You would just keep it a secret. That would make you even more evil. I felt like it needed a witness of another animal. They should have had a witness of another animal who went into purgatory or something. He was
much younger than his dad, assumingly lol.
And at the end, somehow, through Simba's actions, the animal was able to say, like, it was actually your dad, or it was actually the antagonist who killed your dad, not you. I just wanted a different way, rather than the bad guy saying, it was me. And then, after having just admitted that he killed his dad through the brainwashing before that moment to the whole Pride of Lions, he jumps back onto the antagonist, which is impossible. And then he he starts throttling the antagonist and says like, admit that you killed my dad. But that, if I was in the Pride of Lions, obviously I'm going to trust him more than the antagonist, the evil uncle. But I felt even if the bad guy was innocent and hadn't done that, he still would have admitted it because he's being throttled by Simba. I didn't feel that was a good way for him to admit that he killed the father. I think there should have been they're the fucking pro writers. They could have found a way to make that more clever, that everyone found out that it was him. They could have done something in the narrative that would have clicked so well there. So just that last scene, getting off the cliff, which is really improbable. While just before that, the bad guy saying it was me, but there's no reason to do that. And then Simba throttling him and getting him to admit that he killed the dad. But anyone would have admitted that, even if they were innocent, because he was bullying them. And if he is the bad guy that he's painted out to be, that would make him look worse by throttling the guy and getting him to admit it, potentially. So just the end, I wanted a bit more. And also, when he gets killed by the hyenas or whatever, hyenas. It was cool and it was just, and he deserved it. Like his deceit caught up with him, but I just wanted something more devastating at the end, something crazier. That said, probably the craziest bit in that film is when his dad dies, Simba's dad dies. That whole fucking scene, it's so fucking genius. The bad guy sets it up, no one's there to witness it. He frames Simba and he gets Simba to believe that he actually is responsible for his dad's death, which is so genius. Proper abuses the kid and says, it's your fault, run away. I love the way when the dad tries to survive, he actually could have survived. It was the bad guy who killed him when he had no strength left, but he actually got out of the stampede. And I love that animation where he jumps up the cliff and he's ripped, the lion's ripped and he's holding onto the cliff, and there's so much power in that lion, it's so good. And I love the way the bad guy, just as he kills his brother and reveals, his evil, he says to the king, he goes, what the fuck was it? He goes, long live the king, and then like scratches him. So the last thing the dad thinks and sees and experiences before he dies is he's been beaten by his brother, who's going to take over his mantle as king, and his son's not going to become the king, and no one knows about it other than him. He's the only one who knows the truth. That's the most horrible way to die, and it was such a dirty, cool thing in the narrative that they did there. I just fucking hell.
says, yay, that movie was where I learned my dad could die. I remember looking at him in the cinema like, WTF, dude, team meeting right now.
Right, it's really important, those things, to try to get kids to understand it and compartmentalize it. But the dad knows that his son's not going to become the king. His uncle is evil and is going to take the throne at the expense of his son, and is probably going to end up killing his son. And he's the only one who fucking knows, and he dies. It's the worst way. Imagine that. You die knowing some like member in your family is going to steal everything that you have, and he's basically going to kill your son, and your entire legacy will be destroyed, and only you fucking know, and you want to tell someone. That's the last panicky thought you have before dying. And he says, long live the king. And the way he does it, it's a kind of famous phrase or an idiom, so it has more panache, and like the delivery's cool, and it's just very kind of
says,
poetic.
They also scrapped the song where Scar wants to get down with Nala.
What was that part? Long live the king. I can't believe, what's Simba's dad called? I can't believe he had to die knowing that. That's all that's the last thing he experienced. There's other films that do that. There's quite a few, right? Where
Milkatima Kesting says, damn, it's almost as if this story is ancient and Scandinavian Lmeo.
Okay, yeah, we're going from there. It reminds me of, there's quite a few films that do that, right? Where somebody dies and they're the only person who knows it, and they're desperate to tell someone, and they go to their grave panicking, like needing to tell someone. I think that happens in the Aliens films. Like, it definitely happens in Life, the sci-fi I talked about recently, where they try to kill the alien, but they die knowing the alien's going to go to Earth and impregnate or just kill everyone. They're the only one who knows. It's such a dirty narrative device. Fucking amazing film. And then when the dad's dead, there's nothing that's more emotionally kind of upsetting. There's a guarantee to get the heartstrings, than seeing, you know, like a mother die or a father die, because children start thinking about their parents, and then the parents is probably even worse, right? You always see that on Joe Rogan when he talks about things potentially happening to his children. Adults will just cry thinking about it. So that part in the cinema where the dad dies, doesn't matter who the fuck you are, everyone has a family, right? It's gonna get you. And they draw it out quite long, so the kid's trying to work out if his dad's still alive. He starts realizing the dad's passed away. It doesn't end there, and he snuggles up to his dad and like rests his head on his dad. It's fucking, oh, that scene, man. Perfection. There's so much involved in it. And then afterwards, where he gets banished by the uncle, and the uncle says, like, leave, it's your fault. Frames the kid. Actually, the kid believes it's his fault because he didn't see the antagonist kill his dad. He goes into the brambles when he's being pursued by the hyenas at the behest of the antagonist uncle. That's the crossing of the threshold that you see in the hero's journey. But it's so visual. You actually see the threshold illustrated on the screen. You have the sky, and then you have the black, shadowy kind of brambles and briar, whatever it's called. Physically see him make the transition over the threshold, at which point he begins his kind of development. Absolutely amazing. Voice acting. Rowan Atkinson as the toucan or whatever. He might be like the best voice actor in the whole thing. Was it Earl Jones? I always call him, what is it, James? David Earl Jones. James Earl Jones? Is it James? Darth Vader voice, as Brad mentioned. Like, you couldn't have a better voice actor for that. Singing is amazing. Singers are just out of control good. The antagonist is so good, the uncle. He's different to the Lion King, right? He's weaker physically, but he's kind of more cunning, more devious. Perhaps he's smarter than the king, and he's just so evil and so good, so fucking good. He just gets more and more evil as he reveals himself as the story goes along. And the pig and his friend, they're so good. They're so funny. The humor's actually good. It's not always laugh out loud funny, but it's actually very witty, and there's mature elements to it.
Elton John on the music.
Oh, right. And fucking Hans Zimmer as well. Collab. And at that point, Hans Zimmer didn't have free reign to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Rowan Atkinson, the best performance. Jeremy Irons is in the room. Apologize.
I'm sorry. And that's a good point. And what was I saying? Yeah, so the humor's actually, it's good. And it doesn't have to be laugh out loud funny. And I feel it's not the right movie for that necessarily. I think it might take away from it, but it's funny, it's witty. And you compare that to modern Disney. Oh, dude, the whole cheesy, fourth wall breaking shit. And that they could never make that film today because it's about family, right? It's about family. Of course, the most thing is about development, like maturation, the boy becoming a man and his responsibilities to the people around him in the community and stuff. But losing my train of thought. What was I saying? The main theme is boy to man, but it's gone. But it's just fucking amazing. It's an amazing film. The music's good. The music's great. Hans Zimmer, I felt at that point, he didn't have free reign to do whatever the fuck he wants. And so it's not too experimental like his recent stuff. So it's good, but I know every top artist goes through this, right? They have to start breaking rules and doing original things. But I think then, I don't think he had the reputation. He didn't have the reputation he has now. So I felt it was a bit more reined in, and I think it's all the better for it, the soundtrack. Akuna Matata, like that's a fucking banger. And a lot of it's hand drawn, right? I think that was one of the first ones where they started to put CGI in. I think with the herd, the Stampede, wasn't that some parts of that CGI? I seem to remember seeing some documentary or a little bit of a documentary where they're saying, oh, this is the new CGI we're using. So anything hand drawn is always going to be better because it's actually there. It came from somebody's hand, and that just comes across in the spirit of the animation. It feels real. And now, like even movies that aren't animated, so much is done on a computer. Just doesn't feel tangible. It doesn't feel like it's really there. It just feels empty. I remember what I was going to say. I think they could never make a film like this today because so the theme beyond becoming a man, what's that called? There's a much better term for that, is family. And it's about mother and the father, right? And respecting your mother and father and continuing the circle of life. Today, leftism has gone so fucking far and it's so radical. They would hate the idea.
What about Disney's Tarzan?
They hate the idea of family. They hate the idea of like having children. Like they want population reduction. It's a weird eugenics kind of BS that's plagued the left and their moral relativism since as far as you can remember. Like they were all about eugenics back in the day and like changing humans and playing God. Now the left would hate the idea of promoting making a family. They'd hate the idea of having a mother and father who were like essentially married and together and continuing that. They'd hate the idea of like a platonic romance.
Just says, is the game over already?
They hate the idea of that. And there's, women in that as well. The women look to the men for like brawn. I know lions, like the women do hunt. It's already there. You don't need to kind of oversell the women, but
Milkatima Kesting says he hasn't seen that.
But the man has to fucking sort shit out, like in real fucking life. When the shit hits the fan, who are you gonna call? You're gonna call a man to fucking brute force it and sort it out. And that's what happens in the film, It's just an accurate reflection of real life. Like when shit happens, there's like a war going on essentially. The man's going to lead the way. They would never do that now, And then even physically, when Simba and his girl are getting together, he's on top of her, and it's basically like a metaphor for shagging. They wouldn't put that in either, but he's on top of her, and she submits to him, and this is what happens in real life. That would never happen in this film. The women would save the day. They wouldn't allow it. They would. Because especially the fact that female lions hunt, right? They would just be the star of the show. Simba would fuck up. A woman would save his life. A woman would kill the antagonist.
Johnny go through the 5 stages of grief as an adult after watching Lion King for the first time.
100%, a woman would just be kicking ass, and Simba's in control, and that never in a modern film. So it's just like late stage capitalism we're in now, where there's so few problems in real life. Like we have so much abundance and plenty that people's level of comfort is so high that things that are kind of non-threatening or things that are not even problematic are threatening and become problematic. And people start inventing all these crazy problems and just becoming anxious about everything. Like stuff like gender theory and, like patriarchy and fucking, like all these kind of things. The left is so just anxious about everything. They invent all of these problems and are afraid of everything, and it just ends up becoming like part of the things that they create, and then becomes like propaganda. And so in a modern film, you wouldn't get any of these kind of natural, relatable things. It would all be about a mission and just these irrelevant things that aren't problematic, but they make them problematic. I don't think we're ever going back to movies like
Milkatima
this.
Kesting says acceptance lol.
I don't think we're going back. That's fucked up, man. It was so good in the 90s. It was like peak civilization. Look at the things that were being created. And then in the noughties, the thousands, we had a few, but mid-2010s, all of this is gone. All of this is gone. And the whole industry is run by people who think like that now. Yeah, I compare it to...
said Budger says, oh sweet lol. Bro WR says, I can't believe he did see Tarzan bro.
I haven't seen that. You compare it to someone who's always stays at home in their house, right? And they become afraid of going outside. Every little thing, their kind of tolerance and threshold for danger will become so low that even the doorbell would kind of freak them out. In the same way, on like a macro level, if everything's so good and you're so comfortable and there's no survival mode anymore, like even homeless people can eat and like stay full. In that kind of mode of being, you're going to start finding all these things threatening. You can see how the left went off the deep end. They start perceiving threats like microaggressions and patriarchy and like oppression and systemic oppression.
Milkatima Kesting says, Tarzan is good, Brian Blessed is truly blessed.
Then you have a whole generation of people who grow up believing in that stuff. And it's just so ironic the way when you're successful as a society, inexorably, invariably following that, you're going to get like instead of continuing to go up and progress, you're going to get, you'll have too much comfort, not enough adversity, not enough development. And then you just end up in this really like sick kind of society. And you see that in all the media it creates, like everything we're creating right now.
Says, I'm excited for you, but you got to see Tarzan. That was like the wrapping up of Disney.
So in short, Lion King fucking amazing, like 9.5, 10 out of 10. It's been a long time. It's been...
Their display said Budger says, Tarzan was more my nephew's era. He's a decade younger than us.
Better late than never. It's an amazing film.
Milkatima Kesting says, Lilo and Stitch is good.
It's only like 80 minutes as well. Are there any modern Disney films that compare to that? My friend's wife best friend's wife was saying there's one that came out fairly recently. She said it was actually really good. There's a lot of dark themes in Lion King. They wouldn't show that anymore, but you need that. Like kids need that, a little bit of that exposure. I can't think of any examples, but there was a few times I thought they would never put stuff like this in a modern film. Tons of stuff. Oh, Lord of mercy. Man, that coffee did its job. Right, we're going to play the game. Gary, what happened, mate? Any luck? I think we bamboozled Gary with tech stuff.
Milkatima Kesting says, yeah, they pack a lot in there, like I said. Had to cut like 3 songs. Bro WR says, yeah, it is. I would say Tangled was the last good Disney movie.
I think that might be what she was talking about. When did that come out? What do you mean they had to cut out several songs? From what? Lion King or Tarzan? And how would you even know? Tarzan was the wrapping up of Disney, says Brad. I mean, Tarzan's already there. For a development team like that, it's an open goal, right? The whole myth is already there. So there was a guy...
Milkatima Kesting says, Tangled is also good.
We could find this out. Now, there was a guy in Hollywood who condensed Joseph Campbell's Hero with 1,000 Faces into a smaller kind of strategy, if you will, document, a guide.
Lilo and Stitch was good. That was my oldest kid's era. I had to watch that a flobberty jillion times.
And he circulated this guide.
Budger says Tangled was basically Rapunzel.
Okay. He circulated this guide within Hollywood, all the writing circles, all the script writers. And there was a period, every film used this template about the hero's journey, right? Like, inciting incident, you can't go back. In Lion King, it's his dad is killed and he's banished. You can't go back. You cross the threshold.
Lion King, they put them in the stage show, which is also very, very good.
You cross the threshold. There's a threshold guardian that takes you across. In this film, it's the pig and the thing, whatever it is. What is that? It's like a fucking rat or something. Then you have the transformation. There's also a death. So there's like critical deaths in the film that spark transformation. So in that film, it's the death of the father, and that creates growth, which is his personal development. He's forced to take on the responsibility. And then the return, like crossing back over the threshold, then sharing what you've gained physically or mentally or spiritually with the town. So he's become a man and grown, and he shares that kind of wisdom and new leadership skills with everyone. And there's a resolution. So in this film, he finds out that his father was killed by someone else or not him, and the father there's a spirit, he comes down as a spirit, so he feels there's closure and there's a resolution. All of that was in one document by this guy. He explains the hero's journey better than anyone, going around Hollywood constantly. All the films used it during that era. You can download it online, something I really want to get around to kind of absorbing. But that whole template is Lion King, and Hollywood doesn't use that template as much anymore, and no wonder it's so fucking shit.
WR says meerkat. Milkatima Kesting says,
Meerkat.
Don't tell me you've also never seen a meerkat.
I have. There's actually one in Japan, and I've kind of played with one. Pretty friendly, but they're a bit weird. They're too human. They're so human. They're quite odd creatures. Right, so we're going to do video games now. You ready for this?
WR says, Tarzan Def has the most legendary Disney soundtrack of all time. Not even close.
You know how people ruin video games when I play it, and they say, oh, you should save health before this part, or, oh, what's going to happen here? My mate's wife, before Simba's dad died, she goes, oh man, I just can't watch this. I just can't watch this part. This part gets me. I knew as soon as she said that, I knew that he was going to be killed. Like, I felt he was going to die anyways, but I didn't know when it was coming. So she basically reduced the impact by 30-40%. Because that's where all the excitement comes from, is the tension of thinking of anticipating something bad is going to happen, and you worry and you wish you could.
Police Edbudger says, Tarzan had the Phil Collins song right.
So that was a bit ruined, but yeah. Okay, so we're playing a game called James Pond RoboCod.
Milkatima Kesting says you're just saying that because you're a Phil Collins shill.
Milkatia, she steals her shit then disappears. Da 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 da. Right, I'm going to go for a piss, and when I come back, we are going to play James Pond 2 RoboCod. Cuzzy, sit tight. I'll be back with delight.
WR says, well, you can ruin her Christmas by opening a can of fermented fish from Sweden in their home and hiding it somewhere. Thirdest Police Edbudger says, Phil Collins is pretty great though, so many good songs. I think he just finally stopped going on tour actually cause of health problems. WR says, it's impossible to be a Phil Collins shill. That just called a person with ears. Milkatima Kesting says Lmayo, I've seen some people open those cans and I think they are getting bad batches because people who live in Europe open them and the fish looks nice and the can doesn't explode so aggressively. Garivonmabach 8651 says just went to PayPal, they have my old card, tried to update to my current card and they had me on hold for 12 minutes, had to end the call, will try again later. Milkatima Kesting says, you can't just do it on the main page, Gary. Garivonmabach 8651 says it kept telling me a problem occurred and sent me to the call center. Milkatima Kesting says all this Phil Collins talk is putting me in the mood for some Peter Gabriel.
Okay. Right, everyone. Ready to get wild and crazy. Because I am.
Milkatima Kesting says, yeah, PayPal has also been giving everyone I know the business.
What's going on? Okay. SEGA Mega Drive. Alright, let's do this, yeah? Okay. We're gonna go. Alright, everyone. This is day 9 of the 12 games of Christmas, where we play a different Christmas themed game every day in the run up to December the 25th. On day 9 of the 12 games of Christmas, we are playing James Pond Operation RoboCod, a side-scrolling 2D platformer released on the Sega Mega Drive, Genesis, and later released on the SNES, and presumably a few other platforms. The main character is a bit of a joke. It's like James Bond, but with a P, James Pond, so it's a fish, and the developers cross-pollinated the James Bond brand with the RoboCod brand into one title for this. So you're James Bond essentially wearing RoboCop armor, but you're a fish. So that's what this is. I have very rose-tinted memory of this. I loved it back in the day. I absolutely loved it. I have a bad feeling this game hasn't survived the test of time, but I'm willing to give it a go. So here we go. James Pond 2 Operation RoboCod.
Thirdis Police Edbadger says, in your eyes or sledgehammer, there's two choices there, lol. Bradw says, PayPal Peter Thiel Palantir, you know that magic ball the evil wizard Sauron uses.
Feel free to donate via streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre, paypal.me/gimme a hell yeah, GIMMEAHELLYEAH, or patreon.com/Johnny Massacre. The links are to the right of my head. Right, here we go. Okay, I need to go to the gym later because I haven't been in like fucking 8 days and it's terrible because of the surgery, and it was closed yesterday for no reason at all. So we need to finish this in 4 hours. The toys at Santa's factory are all crying. Then from the depths, here we go, Cuzzy. Oh, it's got the RoboCod music. How can they get away with this copyright infringement? Design code and artwork, Chris Sorrell.
Milkatima Kesting says, Salisbury Hill isn't an option.
This is all by British people. Look at the names. 1991. So the toys in Santa's factory are crying out for help. That's what's going on. Oh, for fuck's sake, already. Man, I've been watching RoboCop clips recently. I'm ready for this. I'm super ready for this. Oh, for fuck's sake, okay. Yeah, as usual, a few technical problems. Let's... Game controllers, that's what we want. It says it's connected. Okay. Yeah, it's vibrating. It is vibrating, that's what she said. SEGA megadrive.
Milkatima Kesting says, I haven't watched RoboCop in a long time. Is there boobs?
There's got to be, because it's an 80s film. You would like to think so. You'd like to think there's a bit of boober. Bruv, come on. Don't give me this BS. I might need to get a special dongle to make this work. Da, 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 da.
Their display said but just says Robo boobs.
It's working. What? Robo boobs? Okay. Right, we're back in business.
Milkatima Kesting says he dongle.
I love this music. Come on, this is great. Wow, this is really trippy as well. It makes me feel sick. Jesus. I actually feel really sick, man. That just messed me up. That gave me some mad vertigo.
Milkatima Kesting says my daughter is turning 12. It's time to unload some cinema trauma onto her. Bradublia says, bionic boobery.
That will definitely traumatize her. The murder scene for Murphy and RoboCop. That will traumatize you for life. Look, loads of secrets, a really generous high jump, loads of power-ups, good music, British vibes. Is the music too loud? And when I ask that question, I really, really mean, is the music too loud? Because people always say, it's fine. And then my voice is drowned out it has to be quite lower than my voice. Can someone let me know? Do you know what? I can just fucking test this myself. Is what I can do.
says, RoboCod, man loses body neck down. Boss asks will he be coming into work next week?
Dude, can you believe they actually removed bits from RoboCod that were too violent? How could it be more violent than that? You know when they shoot his hand and it turns into mush with a shotgun? That is just one of the most disgusting things ever. I don't know how they made that movie so good.
Says, fine turn IT down a smidge.
Can you believe they actually removed bits from RoboCod that were too violent? How could it be more violent than that? You know when they shoot his hand and it turns... Okay, I think we're good. Turn it down a smidge, are you sure? Please confirm, Milk. Okay, dude, we've got... I can't miss the gym. We've got another game coming today as well, because we're a bit late with this. Right. This game's amazing. I can feel it. What? Right, this is, do you know what? I just think the pad, the way it's calibrated, I felt this with that Jesus game as well. I don't think it's the game, I think it's...
Edward just says, why does RoboCod look like Elmo with fins and how does he walk on them?
I feel the game is... Oh, I remember that. I feel the...
Milkatima Kesting says, no, I'm not sure I can always hear you, so I don't know what you're talking about. You have audio sensitivity. This is why I don't DJ and you do.
True. Alright. Well, thanks for the feedback. I feel like the directional pad is overly sensitive because it's not the right pads. So it's actually kind of playing on self-imposed hard mode. This game makes me feel sick, man. It just gives me motion sickness. This is really difficult. Oh, man, with this pad, this is going to be super hard. That's what she said. Okay. Did the music. This feels like a Rare game, do you know what I mean? As in the developer. Alright. Clonk, do you hear that?
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, L8ers all got to go.
See you later, Gary. Gary, hit me on the Telegram when you have a good time, when you're free, yeah? Let's do this.
Milkatima Kesting says, I get motion sickness now with fighter pilot games. I'm so sad because I just found one I really like but can't play it. Milkatima Kesting says, take care, Gary.
Bro, this is so British. Do you know what the fuck that was? Americans, like, how to explain this shit to you? How to explain this shit to you?
Edward just says L8RS Gary, Merry Christmas.
Okay, so Victoria, remember the Chuck E. Cheese shit? I actually felt like I didn't want to know what the fuck that was, but then after finding out, I'm happy to know what it is. There's a kind of British, well, it's not an equivalent, but it's maybe from this, like a parallel twisted universe. Do you know what the Bassett is the company name, the confectionery brand? The Bassett Licorice All Sorts Man. I think that's what it's called. Do you know what the fuck that is? Because I just saw one in the game. Yeah, I don't know how they did that with copyright and stuff, but I love all the little power-ups in this, but they're...
Gary Von Mabach 8651 says, Merry Christmas, Victoria.
Merry Christmas, Gary, the legend. Oh, I got poison there. Look, an Ankh. I wonder what the points actually do. Oh, that's not it. Yeah, British video game, you all. Oh my god, I got one piece of life. How many games do you know like this? Oh, look. That's generous. Holding down, I think is extra damage. Yeah, it is. Otherwise, it's a mess. This game's solid. Mechanics are solid. It's just, as a baseline, games just need to have responsive controls, and this has responsive controls. Clonk. Listen to that.
Milkatima Kesting says no, we don't have branded all sorts over here. They are old people candy. They usually come in a clear plastic bag, so you're well aware you're buying licorice all sorts mayo.
Haha. So you know what those are? But isn't that a British thing? That ain't American, licorice all sorts. Me and my best friend were cussing American food culture the other day. He was like, Americans can't talk shit on British food. He was saying Italians can, and who else? Obviously the Japanese. I think we said Japanese, but he's saying Americans can't. Obviously you have some wicked stuff, but there's just so much crap in your diet. You can't really criticize us. English people though, we have a complex about it because we know that our food is crap. But we were so good at everything, it's really hard to actually say we're not good at something. Clonk. I love that clonking sound effect, listen. Clonk. Clonk. I feel this is like a folly, trying to find all the secrets. We don't have enough time. There must be a run button. Oh, we're dead. I don't think there is a run button. Mate, that's the most British enemy ever. Did you see that? It was a...
Milkatima Kesting says, call me when you use the spices you pilfered.
Clonk. Dude, we got killed by a double-decker bus.
Milkatima Kesting says,
really
nutmeg doesn't count. That's absolutely disgusting and doesn't belong in most foods.
Nutmeg? Man, if you put nutmeg on a rice pudding, you will not say that. I actually can't think of anything else that needs it, but it's just, the thing is that our desserts are banging. They're kind of basic and dry, but just whatever it is with loads of custard is going to be great and hearty. And one of those things is a rice pudding. A rice pudding with nutmeg.
Thirdestly Sedbaja says, American food is just a mixture of everyone who came here's food.
Oh mate, did you see that? That was like the rocket jump in Quake. We actually just broke the game. That's amazing. Want that beer, bruv. Or is it the penguin always faces south, north? Bruv, can we fly? I do remember there's some really good power-ups in this game. I just loved all the little things you pick up. Oh, clonk. Bro, I love...
Milkatima Kesting says exactly, Victoria. We come together and make things better.
Look at this. I remember this was proper game breaking. Clonk. Is that a secret exit? Is this a bonus level? What we got? No. Mate, this makes me feel sick. I can't look at this. What is this? But there's a... Bro, we're stuck. Anyone have any ideas? What the fuck is happening here? For real? I think we've broken the whole game. How is this possible? Any ideas, people?
Milkatima Kesting says, Chalsu tried to sneak nutmeg into my homemade cranberry sauce one year and ruined Thanksgiving for me. I am still angry about it. Don't ever bring that into my cooking.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be disgusting. Trust me. Put some nutmeg on rice pudding. Beast mode. Mate, this can't be right. Milky, what do I do?
Thirdest Police Edberger says, did you know your Street Patrick's parade is puny compared to ours and that's supposed to be Ireland's thing? Lol, guess we got all the fun Irish PPL. Auto and Chill says, the only acceptable Christmas game. Milkatima Kesting says, is this another money laundering scheme? Bradwr says, revenge does not have a time limit. Thirdest Police Edberger says, NYC alone does a better parade than Ireland, same with Chicago.
This is not a money laundering scheme. Definitely not. This is some British integrity. But is this giving anyone else motion sick? It's just the background is fucking my brain. I actually don't like this, man. Oh god, it just makes me want to throw up. Clonk. We clonking, cuzzy. Anchor's serious shit. I was gonna say we should be dead. We are dead.
Milkatima Kesting says these backgrounds are the worst. Thirdest Police Edberger says, is that Humpty Dumpty in the background?
I think there's something to do with licorice all sorts. Man, I'm gonna throw up. I actually am gonna throw up.
Says game is kinda weird, acid trip, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, we're so innocent as kids. This is. Speaking of that, Lion King has a few adult jokes. It's really good. He says something like "save your ass," but save your it's great. Whoever made this game,
Sub 69 says, why you do this to yourself?
Do what? Do tell. What's up, Slavs? Slavs, what do you think about the Arsenal? We're gonna fuck it up, aren't we? We're gonna fuck it up.
Thirdest Police Edberger says there is a band called Clitoris all sorts, or there used to be. Auto and Chill says, oh god, the Bears.
The what? Bro, I'm gonna throw up. I feel so sick. I can't take this anymore. I can't do this, man. Help! Please, none of this weird Like scrolling background pattern shit.
Auto and Chill says bears.
Huh? Please no weird scrolling background.
Bradw says not gonna lie, I'm feeling super nauseous.
It's not just, okay, it's not just me then. Man, this game is absolutely messed up.
Bradw says, I can't watch.
Bro, could someone Google this for me? James Pond RoboCod motion sickness. Is this actually a well-known thing? Oh man, I feel terrible. I'm actually gonna throw up.
69 says how fucking creepy.
Dude, I can't play this anymore. Is this a deliberate part of the challenge?
Auto and Chill says, Manchester City look worrying, not gonna lie.
Right? Please not the same fucking background. Okay, maybe this is slightly better.
Says vomit on screen, lol. There was a sumo wrestler that used to dry heave before every match, and occasionally NHK would show him with the bucket and we would all cheer.
I actually can't play this game. I'm gonna have to stop. I can't do this, bro. I was hoping there might be a slightly kinder background, but it's not this one.
Their display Segba just says there's a pair of pajamas that look just like that bear background at Walmart right now.
Bruv.
Milkatima Kesting says Lameo Victoria, do they also make people sick? Auto and Chill says, don't worry about it Johnny, I was already nauseous from spray painting car parts earlier on LOL.
Oh, so it's just me? Naughty boy. I do like the mechanics of the game, but I feel this is the closest that Mega Drive ever got to Super Mario World.
Segba just says they made me sick.
What, the game? I'm not sure we can continue, people. Mate, how the fuck did I get through this back in the day and sit there playing it? How? False teeth. That's proper British, cuzzy. Clonk.
Auto and Chill says sue the developer.
I'm gonna sue them. I don't think they're around. Okay, I have a serious incentive to finish this game quickly.
Milkatima Kesting says, Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube used to make my da sick. I wonder if it would do the same if I played it today. Slub69 says this was on Amiga. Auto and Chill says, this music is the worst.
Fuck, everyone hates this game. It is actually a bit... Dude, I cannot play this. This is the worst by... Nah, mate. I'm going to throw up. This is the worst by far. It's even worse than what came before. Man, what were they thinking with this shit? No, we can't be playing this, Cuzzy. There is no fucking possible way. Oh man, look at this. This is like the Shining ending. There's no possible way. Man, this has to be making other people want to buff. Right? How you lot feeling?
Slub69 says, what annoying main Shah.
You don't like the character? Man, this is worse. This reminds me of Resi Zero. Are we gonna get killed by... Don't... Dude, they're sending us back. Clutch. Oh man, they're doing more of this? What the hell? Okay. I must have been so starved for Mario on the Mega Drive that this was a good thing back in the day.
BroWR says, I had a friend that tried to install a racing exhaust on his car himself and he did something wrong and it was vibrating in such a sickening way made us all start puking.
Can anyone confirm that this game is making them sick or is it just me? Bro, continues left 0? How the fuck, how did I finish this back in the day? Oh man, that's like a one-hit kill. Man, fucking hell, this game's well hard. Oh shit, dude, this is coming to an end.
BroWR says, could have def weaponized that frequency.
Can anyone confirm this is making them sick? Is it just me? Is there anyone else who genuinely...
Display Segba just says this game is going to do the same thing to us in about 30 more seconds.
Come on lads, give us a hand. Smoked kipper for tea.
Slug69 says this game makes me want to punch.
Bro, that's it. That's day 9. I don't give a fuck about this game. I actually physically cannot play this. Physically impossible without... I feel... My mouth is watering. I feel sick. Oh, shut up, game. Well, this game sucks, man. Fucking hell. I had this... God, it's far worse than I remember. Is it just me?
Says, I feel sick. It's something with the background layer and camera moving independently. Their display Segba just says kipper liquor.
So it's not just me. Fucking hell, bruv. Okay, I'll be right back. Oh my lord.
Milkatima Kesting says he's getting the Tachinishin bucket. Bradublia says, maybe it was better on a CRT TV.
Good point. Brussels sprout, anyone? We cannot play this. There's simply no way. Oh my lord. I don't know, I don't feel bad about it. Brussels sprout, anyone?
Slub69 says kippers are very hard bunny.
Mate, what the hell was that? Oh my god.
Milkatima Kesting says Brad might have a point. Thirdisplay said Badger says if the background wasn't like that it wouldn't be so bad, but even I'm noticing it and feeling nauseous.
Bruv. Oh. Man, that turned into a fucking experience, didn't it? That's so intense. Ooh. Can you believe that? James Pond 2.
Slub69 says WTF just sprouts on their own lol.
Is that bad? Let's Google this. James Pond 2 RoboCod motion sickness. Yeah. Someone's talking about it.
Thirdisplay said Badger says it's like when you're on a boat and the inside is still but the outside is moving. Bradublia says, this was made to be watched and have electrons blasted at your nervous system to calm the nausea.
Brad, are you caffeinated? Because there's a dude online, it's a different game that says, I can't play due to motion sickness. I've also noticed that if I've had too much caffeine while gaming, I get seasick. So maybe because I had that massive coffee, it contributed. A really great game, but for some reason, probably because of the fast scrolling and all the colours and backgrounds, I always felt a bit ill after playing. I imagine it must have been some kind of motion sickness.
Exactly, that's it, Vic.
Yeah, there's people talking about this online. Oh my look, man, I can't. Oh god, and the color scheme as well. The color scheme are really garish colors.
Bradublia says, caffeinated and tucked. What's up?
No tuckage.
Milkatima Kesting says, God, I miss CRTs microwaving my brain.
We've been beaten by 2 games now. King of Kings, we couldn't finish. I felt like I wanted to go back to it, but it's so bad. It's so bad. I'm not sure I can make myself do it. And this one.
Thirdisplay said Badger says no caffeine for me and it's still doing it. It's definitely the game lol.
Oh my god, dude.
Says Milky the tingling sensation is undefeated.
I don't think we can continue. Oh my god. Are we gonna try to play this game? Should try one more time. I can't imagine this is gonna get any better. Can you?
Milkatima Kesting says touching the screen and getting that crackling along your fingers indescribable bliss.
My mum still hasn't found a goose, and I don't think she got the roast potatoes either. Fuck, dude. Yeah, I'm not sure we can look at this game. We're gonna have to give it another try because, well, it's rock hard gaming, isn't it? I'm going to the Arsenal game, wicked, on Saturday.
Milkatima Kesting says, Johnny, your hero's journey is going out and getting your mum some damn groceries. What are you doing?
That's my mother's hero's journey. I have no fucking clue where to get a goose. Definitely my mum can find that.
RoboCod says, time to man up and go hunt a goose. Side quest time, Johnny.
When you put it like that, that's something I would like to do. Unfortunately, I get arrested. Okay. I don't know why I'm going to put myself back into this hell. Okay.
Milkatima Kesting says their necks are so easy to break.
Oh man, even looking at the replay, it makes me feel sick.
RoboCod says, carry a speaker and play some boss music when you find the goose.
What would be the best music to chase the goose down? Probably the Batman song. Da 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 da. That'd be pretty good. I know Milky knows. I don't actually know. Maybe we can't do this. Okay. Let's try and let's see what happens. Oh God.
RoboCod says, yes, but geese are aggressive and have teeth. Get a spray tan and say you're an immigrant, you won't get arrested.
That's the reason why that's so funny what you said is if you were an immigrant, you would definitely get the Marxist judicial system favouring you. A million and 1%.
Kesting says wants a good Christian woman to marry. Won't even Google where to get a goose for his dear mother. RoboCod says, you can use a cricket bat as a clonker.
I could do. That's the way, right? Mate, the background keeps sticking out of me. See, this is so British. Mario was more cute, obviously, in Japanese. But when you hit things in this, it's a clonk and a bonk. You got that aggro British kind of aesthetic going on. It's just Mario for the Genesis. Like, this is why I liked it. It was the closest thing to Super Mario World. Oh, fuck off with that. You have to be really careful getting hit in this. There he is, Milky, look. Do you Americans know this guy? Oof.
RoboCod says, why can't we say gooses and mouses but we can say houses? Thirdisplay said Badger says, I watched a short of an Asian lady try to take a goose off the side of the road and get defeated by it. It was awesome lol. Milkatima Kesting says yeah, the English really like to make ugly cute things like they can't just figure out a silver ratio to save their life.
Yeah, and it's fucking mad, right? It's to do with the weather. Ultimately, I think it comes down to that. Well, no, it's our genetic traits and the weather, which are not necessarily mutually exclusive. Is that an Apple computer? No fucking way. No, it's not. I was gonna say, what's that?
RoboCod says, don't F with G's as they will not back down. Don't confuse them with ducks or chickens lol.
I hope that was worth it.
Thirdisplay said Badger says 100% lol. Milkatima Kesting says, I have 2 hands and 2 knees brag. That goose is getting banged.
Man, I want the goose. It's when you focus on the background. See, I loved all this. Look at the shininess. What is it? I just like it. Oh, I remember loving this shit. I remember playing this and just thinking this is the greatest shit ever. With hindsight, this is kind of stupid and trash. You know, that's a bit harsh, but it's not. I remember just loving this.
Says it's the swans I fear.
You put the umbrella away, fool. James. Oh, there's 2 exits? It's mad how you can't get back in. I was just desperately trying not to focus on the background.
Thirdisplay said Badger says, I'm just making chicken and ham for Christmas dinner this year as the main meat. Simple, I'm not going crazy like Thanksgiving making a million things. I've already got 5,000 cookies and icing to make.
It's mad how for Americans, Thanksgiving supersedes Christmas in terms of turkification. You've done it on Thanksgiving, you don't need it on Christmas. For England, it's only Christmas. got to be the turkey on Christmas. Turkey. I just hate the way in America the fucking ingredients you use. Just generally, right? It so leans into no whole food. It's the opposite of whole foods. Even chicken, right, or turkey. I guess the way to kind of season it in America, it's gonna have sugar on the turkey. If you buy anything from a store, they're gonna put sugar in it. I mean UK as well, but America guaranteed. You can't get anything without compromising the whole foods.
Thirdest Police Edberger says according to Dickens the goose is your Christmas thing.
According to Dickens.
Milkatima Kesting says we don't eat processed food all the time, dude. Thirdest Police Edberger says sugar on your chicken. What world are you living in?
No, if you buy a rub from an American store, or the kind of rub an American would buy to make chicken taste nice, it's gonna have all kinds of mad things in it. Like there'll be some crazy stuff in it for sure, and people wouldn't bat an eyelid. I mean, we even have it in Japan, but it's such a lower level to America and England. In England, that will happen if you go to Tesco's, like the main supermarket. The more expensive the supermarket, the less likely that is to be that way, or there'll be some kind of...
Police Edberger says, I never eat processed food, Johnny. I cook everything from scratch.
Awesome, good. You passed the test, Milky. For me, Dreamland is sausages, but without carbs in it or sugar or filler. It's nearly impossible to find.
Thirdest Police Edberger says, Johnny, that's not true. There are choices here. I've never bought a rub with sugar in it. Gross, never even seen one.
Really? Because I had one the other day, courtesy of an American woman, and it was rub on a chicken, and it was so fucking sweet. There was one which was barbecue, which obviously was like that, but there was one which was just a basic chicken rub. It had sugar in it, it had all these crazy things. I was looking at the ingredients, I just thought, how... The thing is, it tastes fucking good. Obviously, because it's got sugar in, but...
I'm guessing the PPL you get your information from have never been here.
Nah, it's an American.
Milkatima Kesting says, sugar is literally a choice people make here.
It's just the default, a lot of default ingredients, I'm pretty sure. It's gonna have like full of chemicals and artificial things.
Edberger says, yeah, that's weird.
But then again, the American style, pitmaster thing with the barbecue, definitely there's going to be loads of sugars in that, right?
Milkatima Kesting says, that's specifically for barbecue though.
I don't know, actually, to be honest, I'm not sure what the rub was, but there was a barbecue one, but then there was a regular one, and it wasn't supposed to be for barbecue. And it kind of had you'd think, if you ate it, you'd think, wow, whoever made this, they're really beast mode at cooking chicken, but how do they make it taste like?
Police Edberger says that's not the norm, Johnny, just some weirdo you met against all odds, lol.
Oh, really? Okay, I see. Well, that's encouraging. Well, look at that. So, we've broken the game, I think. So with rubs and stuff, you know when they rub the, what is it, the famous one, the brisket and shit like that.
Police Edberger says, true, and not all barbecue has sugar.
Can you make one of those classic Texas barbecue brisket things with no sugar at all and it's still going to taste beast mode, or is that important to that? Oh my lord.
Thirdest Police Edba just says you should be making your own rub, that's what I do.
Okay, that makes sense. Rub-a-dub-dub in the tub. What's that? Burn, burn, burn? Is it just me? It's a high score. It's clonking time.
Milkatima Kesting says, molasses or brown sugar is pretty essential for barbecue, but I like dry rubs.
I was gonna say, because I've definitely seen some of those Texas barbecue channels and they've put all kinds of sugar in and stuff. This is the fucked up thing is the brain will most likely tell you this tastes better if there's sugar in it because it's just, you know what it's like. It's fucking delicious. Would you believe, even in Japan, nearly everything has sugar in. Even in the convenience store, like salads and stuff. Not salad, but of course the dressing, but a lot of things you'd think Japan wouldn't do it, they do it as well. It's actually fucking mad. Everyone loves the convenience stores, but there's basically no whole food in a convenience store. Even the salad chicken, some of them have sugar in it. I just look at it and think, why, bro? Why? Well, it's because people, they're gonna come back for it.
Milkatima Kesting says it's a texture thing though. It adds a crunch.
The sugar does. Yeah, surely there's some chemical reaction going on there. I really want to try some of that American brisket. I've never had one. It's such a viral thing, right? But it'd be interesting to taste. There is never any universe where that is a hit.
Milkatima Kesting says brisket is so good though. Thirdest Police Edba just says, yeah, I like the dry rubs, I don't care for sugar on meat, my husband's mother does that, it's gross, but she's Vietnamese, not originally American.
Okay. Yeah, they have a lot of the Asian cooking, right? They do like a bit of that. How many doors are there? Let's see how long this game is. Oof.
Slub69 says I have brisket, gammon and turkey.
Beast mode. Lads, look how big this game is. It's actually fucking mad how long this game is. I do like the hub of this world. Okay, we need to breeze through. Look, this is an English chocolate, a penguin. You know penguins. Aussies have that, right? What's it called?
Kesting says also, ketchup was originally katsu sauce before Heinz perfected it.
It's fucking music as well. Fucking hell. The points has got to give you another continue. Oh wow.
Milkatima Kesping says, so this sugar thing might be a more Asian influence now that I'm thinking about it, Lmao.
Dude, this game came out in 1991. It feels like it came out way later than that. I would compare this to Home Alone. It's like same year. This is.
Sub69 says the music is making me have bad thoughts.
Yeah, it's not the best, is it? God, yeah, it's so repetitive, isn't it? Oh my god, again? Why is this guy always fisting us? Oh, this is like the original game. So the game before this is like this, the whole game. This is a homage to it. So I feel a bit better after eating those Brussels sprouts.
Testing says, and yes, I know where sugar comes from. I'm just saying, with cultures blending in early America, who knows what's up?
Who fucking knows? Too long didn't read. Sugar releases dopamine in the brain. It's addictive and it makes you feel good. Hence, if I made any food, I would put sugar in it. I wouldn't give a fuck. Call me cynical. If it's a business thing, I'm putting that thing in there, cuzzy. I don't understand all the other. You know when you see a million different things, fructose, corn syrup, bonding, blah blah blah. It's something to do with it, with like the cartel. There's a cartel of people who lobbied the government, and it's something to do with that. It just, why would there be? Because the corn industry, right? Corn was made, it was imported, but then they could do it in America, so they lobbied the government.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe.
I always forget there's sugar in ketchup, but I only use that on a hamburger or hot dog, not so much in a marinade, and sugar isn't as bad as high fructose corn syrup.
Right, I'm trying to piece together though how there can be so many ingredients inside something. Maybe the government gives subsidies to them because they lobby the government, and then therefore it's going to end up in all these different kind of foods, and then there'll be kickbacks to the every single company that puts it inside the food. That's my guess of why there's such an insane amount of stuff in it. Because
Slub69 says corn syrup's the worst.
It has to be money related. I must be right on this. And so do you remember when we looked on Walmart on the worst kind of TV dinner, and it just had, it's like English stuff, but it's even fucking worse. And you think, why are you making such an effort to put in so many ingredients? You're making more of an effort. It must be a money thing. It must be them lobbying the government, and then it's returned through subsidies, which ends up in the food. I can't see any other reason, unless putting all that. Oh, I just can't see it, because the English food like that, like a chicken thing for a sandwich or something with a million different ingredients, you just feel this doesn't add to the taste. It's not necessary. Why is it in there? I remember the worst I looked at last year was kind of chicken and bacon salad filler. So I thought, okay.
Says, I think it's a scheme. They work hand in hand to keep us sick and dependent on the healthcare system and big pharma.
No, I forgot about that. I think there could well be something in that as well, because
Milkatima Kesping says,
then big pharma is required to treat this kind of stuff, right?
To kill us.
Fucking hell. Okay, we've opened the rabbit hole,
if they
cuzzy.
didn't spend the last 50 years poisoning, emasculating and chemically lobotomizing the American population, they would not be able to.
This is very conspiratorial, but the thing is, as we know, political issues, when there's something to gain, they will pile as many things as possible onto it, right? So you've got the Palestine thing, right? You can pile on Marxism, you can pile on feminism, you can pile on anti-Israel, you can pile on whatever you want to fucking pile onto it. If they can pile something on, they'll get as much yield as they can.
Thirdest police Edberger says 100% Brad.
Because the reality is, if everyone was healthy, there would be trillions of dollars lost, right? And your healthcare system is famously kind of shitty.
Definitely milky.
I do think there's some government subsidy in exchange for lobbying.
Says
Money goes back to the lobbyists.
Stability. Even the corn itself bugs
Money goes back to the lobbyists via the subsidy, and then it all ends up back to government in taxes. But mainly probably the individuals who cut those contracts. Fuck. And like green light the subsidy. But I know for a fact something like that happened with the meat industry.
Good day, Johnny.
Huh? The meat industry. I was reading this book called Liberal.
Milkatima Kesting says, so if you have a garden and bugs are eating your food, thank them. You know it's fucking edible.
I was reading this thing called Liberal Fascism by Jonah Goldberg. Actually, he turned out to be a bit of a knob, but in that he was talking about the meat, I think it's the meat industry, and he said part of the way corruption works with these big standardized food industries is the industry becomes so big that it stops innovating, and then so all the newcomers are more motivated to beat them, so they undercut or they innovate or both.
Bradablia says, just buy kosher, you'll be safe. I'm not even kidding.
And so when that happens, the big conglomerates, they want to, oh no, this is some BS. They want to kneecap the newer innovative companies in the free market. So what they do is they lobby the government to over-regulate the market, so it's impossible for a newcomer to comply. There's too many bureaucratic hoops to jump through. There's too much initial investment, like the standardization from anything to fire protocols for your premises where you're producing things, to the machinery that you need, to the kind of, the different organizations set up within the government, health and safety standards that have to approve everything. The amount of things you need, staff you need. If they just over-regulate so much that people can't, the cost is so prohibitive to even get going that people just give up or go bankrupt, and then that will just, it's crony capitalism. It solidifies the position of the major manufacturer, in this case meat processing plants and / farming. It's mainly the meat processing now, I believe. And then the consumer just completely loses out because you don't have the market competition, which drives down prices or increases innovation and quality. Man, I can't. This music though. This music, cuzzy. This music. Slubs' his favourite. Man, this fucking game. I have the patience for this.
Milkatima Kesting says, I wanna be like Vic's sister, 600 chickens.
Man, this game fucking sucks. Doesn't it?
Thirdest Police Edberger says yeah, but kosher just means blessed by a rabbi, right? Like not all kosher salt is good, especially when I see bleached salt marked kosher. I like pink salt with all the minerals from Utah.
There's some fucking expensive salt if you get the sea salt, right? The flake stuff. The flake stuff's kind of cool. The way you can. I've seen a few. You see that some professional chefs love that shit. I think Ramsay's always working with that. Ramsay. Here we go.
Thirdest Police Edberger says Milky, it's not as fun as it sounds unless you have a team of butchering children to help and a freezer that can store bodies, lol.
Oh la. I'm blaming the kind of Bluetooth pad. It's really hard to jump. I swear it's extra difficulty. Is there a way to adjust sensitivity in this for directional pads? Oh, Lord of mercy. Man. Oh, we have to do that all again.
Bro WR says, isn't that milky though?
God, this music is so repetitive. And it goes throughout the whole game. They couldn't have made any other songs other than this? Come on, guys. Don't take that piff now. I feel if you hold down jump, there's a little floaty point at the top. Makes it a bit easier to navigate. Right there. Man, Elden Ring, what a fucking game, huh? Life changing. That game is fucking weird though. I find a lot of parts of it just super odd, super melancholy. It's oppressive and freaking weird, but it's just so goddamn good. That's definitely up there with greatest game of all time.
Police Edberger says only if she plans on 9 more kids, lol, don't do it.
Do it. Milky, what's your brother doing for Christmas?
Milkatima Kesting says no, kosher doesn't just mean blessed by a rabbi, they are also killed in a specific way to reduce the fear. It means no unclean animals. Basically anything that's nature's breeder filter. Thirdest Police Edberger says sorry 10.
Double bubble.
Thirdest Police Edberger says oh right, I forgot about that. Well, they still need to stop blessing bleached salt, that shit's no good for you. Milkatima Kesting says, I have no idea what he's doing for Christmas.
For Christmas? How dare you? How can you not know? You're a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Oh, why is this game so difficult, Cuzzy? Man, we can't escape this vortex. You know that's not the right exit, right? God, there's a lot of secrets in this game, aren't there?
Milkatima Kesting says he's trying to get me to draw a children's book for him, but I have told him no on multiple occasions, and I've tried to draw it, but I just can't. Send help, please.
That's nice that he's asking you, though.
Milkatima Kesting says, why would I ask him what he's doing for Christmas? I hate the damn thing, Leo.
Man, how dare you hate Christmas? Don't hate Christmas. Oh god, they're trying to be clever with this game. I feel this is a bit of a reach in terms of spicing up the gameplay, right? It's just like flipping an image and hoping it adds something.
Bradublia says, bleach is chlorine, table salt is sodium and chlorine. I'm sure something in their balances maybe, but they aren't going to poison their own people.
Dude, they really want you to throw up when you're playing this, don't they? They're doing everything in their power to make this unbearable. Aren't they?
Milkatima Kesting says there's bleach in all water. Thirdest Police Edward says, my sister went back to NY for Hanukkah. Now my parents don't have to fear putting up their nativity and Christmas decorations. I'll miss her though.
Man, I got recommended a clip from Jingle All the Way. That fucking film, oh my lord. The kid actor is fucking annoying in that. Who is he? I think he's in another one as well. He was at the end where he's flying around in the jetpack. The special effects are pretty bad.
Thirdest Police Edward just says, look into Redmond real salt. I think you'll change your mind about the salt thing. Milkatima Kesting says, I still don't do Hanukkah. All Chelsu's friends do it and he wants to Mayo.
So how does Hanukkah work? Tell me about that.
Milkatima Kesting says, we just watched Jingle All the Way. He's fucking Anakin, dude.
Oh my god, he's the worst child actor. That's who it fucking is. Oh, man.
says, he'll check it out.
He did alright, mate. He's probably still getting royalties from that. He's probably done great.
Slub69 says he was Anakin in The Phantom Menace.
Menace. Slubs, I'm fully expecting your Christmas donation for the stream. Considering you spend grands, what's another couple of hundred gonna make, bro? What difference will it make? Oh man, that was slick. Oh, what a fucking hell. Right. Not looking good. Dude, it's a Pac-Man ghost? How are they getting away with this copyright infringement? How are they doing it? There's so much in this game. It's wow, this is a brutal game. I feel like this level in particular. Look at that. How's that? What a waste of a continue.
Kesting says, Hanukkah is a celebration of some oil that burned for like a week while some heathens tried to take a Jewish temple or something very grim holiday, and I feel like it's been Christmasized. Lmeo.
It's been what? It's been what? Christmasified. Bro, it's way too easy to get killed by that. Milk, can you do me a favor? Mother matriarch of Massacre channel. Can you get extra continues in this game? Oh, he's okay. Hold on. He's holding up a finger. That means how many lives are left. And look, he looks fun. This is insanely just what the whole game's going to be thrown away. It's far too difficult. Bip, bip, bip. Pip, pip, pow. I mean, that's destined to end your days. God, it's only halfway. So what? I just don't understand how you get life. What is life in this game?
Milkatima Keskin says apparently you have to find items that spell out the word lies.
Lies?
Therdis Police Edberger says yeah, I don't really worry about it, we just didn't want to be exorcised for Christmas decor by my sister lol.
I get a bad feeling about these things. What's this? Oh, here we go. See what happens here. God, this music gonna go throughout the whole game. Bruv.
Milkatima Kestin says,
See, I tried to
I
kill
can
you.
come over and do that if you miss her enough lol. Therdis Police Edberger says sounds like a plan Lmao.
Don't. Okay. And we got hurt from that. I think if we die, we're going back to the save point. Yeah. Like I said, I just like this game as a kid because it's the closest to Super Mario World you could get. Came out in 1991 and everything.
Therdis Police Edberger says just don't break the nativity, it's an antique my grandpa made in his ceramic studio.
They had a good grip of the hardware as well. I mean, the graphics are a bit samey, but smooth, well optimized.
Milkatima Kestin says, you know this wreath represents Ouroboros, right?
Oh my god, that's the snaky. Every time someone tells me what that is, I forget what it is. What does it represent? What's the meaning? Oh my lord.
Bradublia says, that sounds pretty cool Vic. Definitely. Therdis Police Edberger says, I made all my wreaths. I'm evil.
Tons of sequence there. I do remember this as a kid coming back. It won't let me out. I do not know. I only got one bit of life. We're actually fucked already. Man, this game is mad difficult. I did not know. All these games are hard.
Milkatima Kesting says, Victoria worshipped the eternal snake.
Oh no. Are we supposed to...
Display Sedba just says, yeah, I'm surprised it survived this long. When I was a kid the manger was empty, then Christmas morning boom he appeared.
Is that all we get? This is so influenced by Mario. It's actually a little bit outrageous. That game was just the one Mario world. Really? It just keeps sending us to these rooms. Milky, what? How do I? Can I get continues or is it life or both? That was my chance to do it, but I failed. Yeah, she can't go back down there. Mate, what the hell is that? What's even happening here? Nah, this is tiresome, isn't it?
Milkatima Kesting says, I grew up calling them little guys, but yeah continues.
Okay, so you can't get life? So what, how do I get the continue then? Oh, of course, just this, you little foolia. Oh, Lord of mercy, we can't do it. What a weird game this is. Okay. Let me out. Why would it let me out? Oh my lord.
Bradwr says if Christmas is a pagan ritual in disguise, then the best way to combat it is with Awarenes doing it through Christ. If it didn't work, they wouldn't be pushing people to say Christmas and happy holidays.
Whenever I see that, I feel pissed off. I mean, this game is fucking broken, isn't it? Massively broken. Brad, where am I going, cuzzy? Where am I going? Oh, fucking hell. Where, what? Looks like I got 4 lives. How did I say a life is what you want. We got lives and energy. I think you get lives when you, oh, that's what we wanted. When you pick shit up. It's points related.
BrWR says, if you don't think Christ can negate, destroy and flip all negativity in Christmas, then you're not believing.
I believe. Dun, 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 dun.
Their display said, but just says, well said.
The mystery of Christ, intertwined with the mystery of the cross. Oh, don't tell me this is not the end. Oh, fucking up, man, this will not end, will it? This game will not fucking end. Okay, I think I have plans. Oh, I have plans. God, this makes me want to bath, dude. What were they thinking? What? Oh no, are you serious? Bruv, you can't not let me out there, come on.
Milkatima Casting says, but Jeremiah literally said, don't bring a tree in your house and cover it in silver, and Aaron's sons were struck down for worshipping wrong, lol.
What a bizarre game, man. Oh, they tried to kill you.
Says, I don't think my dad has the best grip on technology. He just sent me the same text about 5 times, lol.
Some British shit. Has anyone ever read The Exorcist, the book? As opposed to something that's not a book.
Their display said, Budger says, I dated Jeremiah for 4.5 years. He's a compulsive liar. Oldest daughter's father. Milkatima Casting says the ice relights thought they were doing a good job with the golden calf. Just saying.
Oh my lord. I remember quite liking this as a kid. As a young boy. I just feel like these are real threats in England. Boots, tyres, all that shit.
Their display said, Budger says, I've never read the book, but the movie was hilarious. Milkatima Casting says, I forget Victoria is older than me sometimes. I was just there for the dark ages.
Oh fuck, man, they really want you to be gone in this. Oh no, that's a friend. I remember loving this as a kid. How basic was I, man? This was so exciting. This is silly. I remember just thinking this was mad OP. It probably is. The fuck. This is the car from Roger Rabbit. It's actually the car they stole. Look at this. They stole mad amounts of shit. But this is game breaking. Look at this. Look, the clonking car. Man, this is the item I've been looking for. Clonkmobile, that's what it is. It is the Clonkmobile. Man, that was a long ass level. That wouldn't fucking end, would it? It's 2 levels in one. Is this a boss? It is a boss. I'm all about this life. Let's clip that. Can anyone write down the times for clips and put it on the Discord? Oh my god, that's a vicious little fuck, isn't it? Bruv, he's got teeth, look at that. Piece of piss. We're gonna do something. That feels like a bit of a cop out by the developer. That was too easy. Are we nearly finished now in this game? We got the duck. Do we really need to do both of those? I don't think we do actually. I'm guessing we just need to do one. Santa. Bro, how many fucking levels are there? Oh no, there's actually not that many. We actually could. This is all possible, I feel. Alright, let's just try not to fuck this up. Oh, don't tell me there's a second. Dude, there's a ton of other levels. Don't do it to us. Oh man, don't send us to another one of these. Bro, I don't have the patience. Do not have it. Oh my freaking... My god. Man, the music is super repetitive. They just don't care, do they? They do not care.
Therdis Police Edwager says, who made this game?
Fuck, I don't know, some British
Are we
dudes.
just supposed to let evil run rampant on Christmas? Or do we counter it? Rebuke all evil curses. Contracts false god spirits from everything everyone around us say this is Jesus tree now.
Oof.
Milkatima Kesting says, but what if he doesn't want you to call it his tree?
It's my tree. Oh my lord, don't do it like that. Right, this is fucking impossible. I'm just pissing away my lives like a little fool, yeah. You little fool, Joe. You little fool, yeah. Yeah, do you know what? Fuck this game. I know people want to see me suffer, but I think there's a fine line between you enjoying someone suffering and then you suffering with me. And you don't want to suffer, you just want to enjoy. Therefore, this game is not going to last much longer.
Bradublia says, Joniad was pre-power of Jesus and Holy Spirit, which Jesus came to give us as a superpower to finally be able to fight all evil and not be defenseless. Milkatima Kesting says rebuking is very important, but I'm just pissing people off, so I'll shut up. Therdis Police Edwager says, wait, so I can't bring in a lemon tree for the winter so it won't die either, seems a bit overboard.
I'm done with this game, is what I am. Yeah, it's impossible. How the fuck did I finish this as a kid? must have just played it endlessly. It's a tiring game. Yeah, no desire to play it. This game actually kind of sucks. Interesting, there's no difficulty levels. Yeah, okay. I don't think anyone's gonna shed any tears over this game ending prematurely. Am I right? Do you actually want me to continue playing that? I know you don't. Don't feel the least bit bad about it. I mean, I could finish it, but it's just so boring. It's so boring. That's an eye-opener, man. I loved that back in the day. Was so easily pleased. It ain't that good, that one. It ain't that good. Wow. A lot of janky games we've had to deal with so far. All right.
Third Said Budger says, I thought the Christmas tree started in Germany back when they did plays about the Garden of Eden and the balls, ornaments, were the forbidden fruit, and then it managed to get into Christmas. Milkatima Casting says no, it made everyone sick and the music made me want to commit violence.
Oh, God, the game's horrible. Okay. So I'll be back later.
Said Budger says word.
I'll be back in like 5 hours. We'll play another game. We'll play a different one. Day 10 coming up, yeah? That was it. Game 9 of the 12 games of Christmas. James Pond 2 Operation RoboCod. It is bad. It is bad. It's a 5 out of 10 game. Merry Christmas, everyone. See you very soon in a few hours, yeah? Cheers.